Washington Post says Biden's inner circle kept cognitive decline hidden from American people. To that, I say, duh. Washington Post, you're just now coming to this conclusion. We've been talking about Biden's cognitive decline for years, but welcome though. Finally reporting on something, something that's true, even though you're years late. But we're gonna talk about it. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. Also, follow me on X where I post my news and thoughts there as well. All right, so let's talk about this news now. This comes from Slay News' Nick R. Hamilton. He reports that the left-wing Washington Post admitted that lame duck President Joe Biden's inner circle conspired to hide his cognitive decline from the American people. The administration is a striking reversal. I'm sorry, the omission is a striking reversal after the Democrats' allies in the corporate media spent years downplaying concerns about Biden's fitness. Like I said, we knew about this. I reported on this on my old channel. I reported on this channel. We have documented his mental decline. But the Washington Post also indirectly implicated Vice President Kamala Harris in the cover-up. However, the newspaper stopped short of naming the Democrat presidential nominee. Of course, anyone that sat down and talked to this man, which I'm sure as Vice President Kamala Harris did have to occasionally talk to Joe Biden, right? She had to know, unless she is the dumbest person in the world, she had to know that this guy was losing his mental acuity. But the paper's editorial board wrote, quote, the 81-year-old had shown signs of slipping for a long time, but his inner circle worked to conceal his decline. Of course, many will see the Washington Post change in tone as a cynical shift from a newspaper that had long supported Biden throughout his presidency. However, Biden faced mounting pressure to drop his re-election campaign following a disastrous debate with President Donald Trump on June 27th. We all witnessed that debate. You know, I covered it live. But the Wall Street Journal published a damning report about Biden's condition in early June. At the time, the report was widely dismissed by the mainstream media. After the debate, mainstream media outlets and Democrats who had long dismissed Biden's cognitive decline suddenly started clamoring for his exit. The Washington Post showered Biden with obliging praise. The outlet describes his dropout decision as, quote, profoundly selfless. We all know he was pushed out. He was pushed out. They were going to hit him with the 25th Amendment if he didn't. I think Camilla threatened him. You can see, you can see Jill Biden's face. It was palpable. You can feel it. How she had a disdain for the people that was on that stage, a lot of the people that was on that stage, because they pushed her husband out. However, the statement ignores Biden's spirited fight to stay in the race. It also fails to take into account that Biden was forced out of the race by top Democrats, including Nancy Pelosi and Barack Obama. Again, you could see her face when Barack Obama was on stage. She had to fake it. But Biden eventually caved to the threats of being forcibly removed and endorsed Vice President Harris to replace him on the ticket. The Democrat credited with pushing Biden out, Nancy Pelosi, praised Biden in her speech at the Democratic National Convention this week. During the DNC, Harris formally accepted her party's nomination for president without receiving a single vote. Again, disgusting. They call themselves the Democrat Party, and they are so undemocratic, right? Biden insisted he did not hold any grudges in his farewell speech. I mean, he had to say that. The president's speech was pushed past prime time on the first night of the convention as the party continues to distance itself from Biden. Like, no one really watched it live like that. That's why they pushed them back so late. They didn't want anyone to see it. But the Washington Post argued that Biden would have been better off not seeking re-election at all. However, hardly any mainstream media outlets were lobbying for Biden to step aside before June. That's true. Quote, in retrospect, Mr. Biden should not have sought re-election, the Post states. The June 27th debate was worse than just a bad night, as the president maintained afterward. Oh, now they admit that as well. The 81-year-old had also had shown signs of slipping for a long time, but his inner circle worked to conceal his decline. He and the country would have been better off if Mr. Biden had kept his implied promise from the 2020 campaign to be a transitional figure, perhaps by bowing out after the Democrats' surprisingly good showing in the 2020 midterm elections. You know, they are super late to the party, super duper late to the party. But what you expect with Bezos' Washington Post, they're going to continue to cape for the left. They're going to continue to cape for the Democrat Party, just like they're doing for Kamala Harris now. They're not calling her out on her not even doing any interviews or speaking before press or anything like that. They're hiding her and left wing outlets like the Washington Post will continue to cover for. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.